Well, welcome back to our session. I am going to answer the Q&A. I've been in the chat window answering Q&A inside of live and inside of YouTube. However, now I'm going to go and get deeper with the questions you guys ask. I'm here today off camera with my brother Devin. Thank you, Devin, for joining me today. And we're going to kind of review some of the questions. Again, as we get started here, there is a sale right now. So if you want to get deeper knowledge in the Power Platform, you'll find a sale on right below me, right over here, right now, for 50% off our on-demand training. That promo code you're seeing there. So Devin, let's go ahead and answer our first question out of the gate, which is one of our setup questions we had. What level of licensing do I need for a model-driven application? We had a lot of licensing questions between Canvas apps and model-driven apps. This was a question. I'm not sure what the question was from, but it's all right. So it really comes down in Power Apps to the connection you're using, and in Power Automate for that matter. If you're using one of the free connections, things like SharePoint or Excel, there's hundreds of other connections out there. All you need is an Office license. Now, model-driven apps, though, require that you use Dataverse as a core database to store all the information. Now, because you're using Dataverse, that is considered a premium connection. So you'll need a Power Apps per user license, considered a premium license, or you can use a developer account to create the app and then deploy it for free to another environment. But once you start to use it in production or in dev, you will need an additional license at that point. So your users will need a license, and all you'll need is a developer license, which you can get for free. It's forever free from Microsoft. The other question we get asked about the licensing side, by the way, also is we saw a lot of things about Teams. I think David, you have a question about the Teams. Let's go ahead and throw that out there if you don't mind. Oh, no worries. All right. So from a Teams side, you can use Power Apps for Teams, and it gives you 2 gigs of data per team that you want to enable it in. For this, you can build Canvas applications using Dataverse as a data source. It's going to scale better, and it can hold up to 1 million records in a given table. This allows you to build your app in Teams, deploy it within Teams, and the pro of that is your users can see that Canvas app inside of Teams. The con is your users can see that Canvas app inside of Teams. So if you're not all in on Teams, it is not going to help you a whole lot. If you are all in on Teams, it's a great option for you. Now, the app that Matt built today in a model-driven app can also be seen inside of Teams also. And that's part of our class that we have. We have a model-driven class that we teach, and that is one of those also. Let me open up the chat here also. What are some common troubleshootings for a solution from importing? All right, we saw a lot of this as well. And let me kind of walk through some of the number 1 or 2 things that we saw with that. Let me go ahead and share my screen, Devin. Let's kind of walk through that real quick. All right, you're a good producer, Devin. I like it. All right, cool. So inside of this, what Matt had you do is go to Solutions, and he went to import the solution up top. And when you browse out, you'll notice that when I go to Downloads, there's my file right there. Quite a few of you guys uncompressed it. That's what we do in most of our sessions. We uncompress the file, we look into it, and we see, all right, what's inside the file? And there's a whole bunch of stuff inside there. But a solution inside of Dataverse, if I open this guy up here, it doesn't look like much is there, right? Just a couple XML files. So you don't want to actually uncompress these files when you're importing. You just want to keep it as a zip file there. Now, these solutions should be used for everything, whether you use whether you're doing just a regular Canvas app, a SharePoint, or whether you're using a Dataverse app like we're doing right now. You'll notice it gives you a few questions here, and if problems were to occur, typically it's going to occur right here. Now, let me cover one quick thing that we saw today, though. If I go over to the Admin Center, PPAC, the Admin Center is Power Platform Admin Center. You see the URL up top right here. Whoop, I lost it. There we go. Now, this Admin Center, Microsoft is rolling out a large change this week, starting this week. And if I go to Marshall's environment, who's our trusty marketing director, and he will be on camera a little bit later here, you'll notice that there is, under updates here, a new rollout happening right now. Now, if you don't want Microsoft to just roll that out in the middle of the day, it's advised that you control the experience for your users. So instead of like just having them roll it out, I would recommend at night, on a weekend, because it is going to slow your environment down, hitting the Manage button and hit Update Now. This process can take about 20 to 30 minutes to do its thing, but it will slow your environment down and hurt you from importing other solutions during this time. So just a quick word of warning. By the way, if you go here and go to environments and you don't see anything, that's because you're not an administrator of those environments. But you want to control when that rollout happens. Don't rely on Microsoft to do that rollout, because they will generally pick the most inopportune time for you sometimes. Devin, what's our next question here? Oh, we got a circle. We got a Brady Bunch there. All right. Model-driven apps feel a lot like Dynamics. Well, good point there. When I go to a model-driven app here, I think Marshall, in Marshall's environment, he's got one right here. Let's double check that. I think he's got a really boring one, but let's just open it up. You'll notice that when I go to this, that it has a URL like dynamics.crm.com, crm.dynamics.com. That's because a while ago, Microsoft decided to lean all in on Dynamics and making it easier for you to build many solutions without having a Dynamics license. So in this case, all the plumbing for Power Apps, for Dataverse, for model-driven apps is basically Dynamics plumbing. A lot of the management screens are Dynamics screens. So if it feels like Dynamics, that's because it very well is Dynamics engine at its core. All right, great question. Let's look at our next one here, Devin. All right, are model-driven app Power Apps responsive? Yeah, that's a great question. So you'll notice I've got, let me open up one right here. I'll just open up templates here and just open up one of these guys here. Now, one thing to note here, if I go to this, I have nothing in here right now. Let's go to solutions. I know I have something there. Oh, no, let me go back one more time. Sorry. Well, this environment's pretty boring here, but everything inside a model-driven app is responsive from the first moment. So if I start to compress this down, you'll notice it's starting to stack stuff. Forms, views, everything is responsive. Where in Canvas applications, it requires that you do a little bit of work to make it responsive. Model-driven apps require no work to make it responsive. Everything is ready from day one to make sure that your users can watch that application on a phone, on a tablet, or on a PC or Mac. Also, they will show up natively in the Power Apps application also. It's a great question there. Let's see our next one now. All right, can you explain the difference? Can you explain when are forms and views used? Well, I have this model-driven app open right here. So you're seeing in this case, as I opened this up a moment ago, I go to temp, let's see what I have one here. All right, so cues, for example. You saw here, this is a view with a drop-down box where you can see a list of all the different views that are created. Additionally, you saw what the form looked like. So the reason why you spend so much time creating those views and forms is because all the logic, once you create that logic, once you create the view, and once you create the form to see all that data, to edit the data, your forms edit the data, see it, and your views will give you a list of that data so that the details are in the form and the high level is in the view. Once you create it though, all the business logic is in there. So your application is super easy. Whether that application is a model-driven app, a Canvas app, or a Power Page, all that work has been done in the views and the forms. So for example, this form right here, if I want to put this on a Power Page, I can do that in a few seconds. I just had to open up my Power Page, click, create a new form, point to this form, and all the work has already been done. All the business logic is already there. So again, whether it's a model-driven app or a Power Page, it will respect all of that. Views are respected whether it be in a Canvas, model-driven, or a Power Page, where forms are not necessarily respected from a Canvas side. All right, great question. Can we bring a column from another table, like how we join SQL? Well, what a great question. So you'll notice that when I go back over to my form, my view here again, I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit here and go to Edit Columns. You'll notice here that when I hit Add Column, I can go to Related and pull all the related columns, just like a SQL Server view or a SQL query with joins. But no coding required at all. I can go to Created By and say, I want to pull that person's address over. And when I click away from it, hit Apply, you'll now see that it's going to the address one column, table, in this case, and pulling the country column over from that. Again, this view is not very interesting here, but you can absolutely do that. If you want to do that from a form perspective, your best bet are subgrids and quick view forms. So subgrids, as Matt showed in the video, allow you to go down the hierarchy. So if I'm at a parent table, like an invoice, and I want to see all the items for that invoice, that's a subgrid. That will show you all the many items that relate to that top level invoice. If you want to go up, when I'm looking at a customer and I want to see their company, that's what a quick view form can do. So quick view goes up, subgrid goes down to look at the children. And again, quick view goes up to look at the parent. Great question. All right, question from Colleen. Is there training for the administration side? Yes, so on our website, I know quite a few of you guys, I recognize your names. All right, Jana, that means you and a few other ones. You'll notice under training, we do have something, I've got solutions here. We do have something called the Admin Hackathon. And we also have a course that I built. If I go over to courses here, there is an admin course here. So if I just go over here and just go admin, there we go. There's a Power Platform Administration class right there. So you can either take it right there on demand, or we do it privately for companies right here in Admin Hackathon. This is more for a private kind of thing where we kind of change your settings live, or at least recommend that we change settings live. And the other one was more about watching it and just kind of doing it yourself. So it depends on how you learn best, asynchronously or synchronously. All right, what do we got next, Evan? Well, users with specific security roles download all data with Dataverse offline or just have access to the data? It's a question from Bob the Builder here. I love it. So just like a live view of the data, when you put security roles, let's say you can only access your own data or your own department's data or your organization's data, whatever that rule might be, it will honor that role whether you're looking at it offline, online, or whether you're querying it in Power BI, for example. As long as it's not stored in Power BI and actually, the data's not stored. If you're doing a direct query, for example, where you're getting it live, in those instances, it will always respect the rule. Even if you're querying it just like in a Management Studio query or Visual Studio, it will always respect that it'll pass everything to that security context before it shows your users the data. So when they're trying to go offline, it will pull that data on their phone and only show them the data they have access to. Good question, Bob. All right. So this was one answered. I guess Q1 answered. Do you have a summary of what licenses are needed and the fees? Okay, developer licenses are free. Let me just go out there real quick and show you how to get your developer license. If I just Google Power Apps Developer Plan, you'll notice there is a developer plan link right here. You can find us on our cheat sheet also. Let me start there actually. All right. So on this will give you a free license as long as your company or organization allows it. They can turn that off also. So if I go over to Power Apps cheat sheet, you'll find all that information right there. There's our cheat sheet, first hit there. And as you scroll down, you'll see a licensing discussion inside of here. There is the app in a day, which is a great question we had also about what the next step could be for training. App in a day is a great one. That's a recording right there for that. You'll have some free tutorials right here. You'll have the official documentation, of course, and there's the app in a day slides that we always get asked for. And you'll also find the licensing discussion right here. So from a per user basis, keep in mind that on a per user basis, the premium plan, they've changed this now. Yeah. The premium plan is $20 a user. This is list price that I pay in the US. If you're an education institution, for example, or nonprofit, they pay much, much less, way less than almost like 80% discount on that price for nonprofits or education institutes. But for us in the commercial sector, like myself, paying list price, I'm looking about $20 per user. And that gets me to unlimited applications I want to build. And it gives me 250 megs of Dataverse space that goes into the company's pot that can be used for all the organization at that point. All right, great question here. What is the best licensing model for hundreds of employee firms? Seems to be expensive. Yeah, so of course, as we kind of license more, the price does scale down. However, if you've got a big firm, let's imagine you're a college, for example, and you have a contractor company where you have people in the field, that construction company that may only be using this application once every few months, maybe. In that instance, Power Pages might be the best option for you. Power Pages, you only license the users that are active, that are actually using the license in a given month. And it's much, much cheaper. So there you're looking at about $200 for the first pack of like 75 users. That gives you a website. Gives you your data and your licenses to use all that. So it's about the same as what you pay for hosting at one of the big firms like like a SendGrid or something, not SendGrid, but one of the big Rackspace type companies or Azure. But it gives you all that included. So with that type of license, like for example, during COVID, we had that whole application that you can do for COVID assistance. My county has about 400,000 residents inside of it. We don't want to license 400,000 people for Power Apps. So instead, we did Power Pages, and that was a much, much more cost-effective way for us to do it. Every month, we'd have like 500 or 600 people that would come in. They would consume a license, but not the whole 200,000 people. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question. That price that you see here on the screen, that $20 plan, does scale down also. So as you license more, talk to your sales rep, and Microsoft will work with you and make it more advantageous. All right, great question. Do you have any courses on Dataverse? Absolutely. We've got a bunch of courses on Dataverse, whether you're building an app inside of Teams or whether you're building an app like here. When I go to the Pragmatic Works, you'll find, here we go. You'll find a bunch of courses. If I go over to training and courses here, in all courses, you'll find a bunch of courses. We also do them privately as well. And a lot of our courses, even the stuff that is not Dataverse related, has Dataverse stuff inside of it. So Matt here, if you like this teaching style, you'll see him he has a building solutions in Dataverse. But we also have all of our Power Apps classes and Power BI Power Automate classes have Dataverse in there as well. So even though it doesn't have Dataverse specifically in the name, it is covered by all of our boot camps and all of our classes as well. All right, Devin, what do we have next here? Good question.
You want to go to the giveaway?
Oh, yeah, we're ready for the giveaway. Any live questions we have here that we want to go ahead and highlight?
The last 5 have been live questions.
All right, cool. Last 5 have been live questions. All right, Marshall, you want to come on? Let's go and do a live giveaway right now. So first of all, again, thank you for watching us live here today. As a reward, we'll make sure we answer all of your questions live, but we also have a giveaway right now. Again, if you are not a winner of the giveaway, we do have a 50% off discount. Marshall, when does that expire? It expires on April the 11th right there. I see now.
That's right. Goes through April 11th.
And this is 50% off our on-demand. We have hundreds of courses, we can now officially say, hundreds of courses now out there for on-demand. And we have, probably almost 10 or 12 that we're actually editing right now to be released in the next week. So that's going to be a big injection of new content out there. So Marshall, we're giving away some licenses today also, aren't we?
Yeah, so we're going to give away, I'll let you pick the number, how many licenses you want to give away. We'll also give away some free T-shirts as well. So you tell me what you want to give away first.
All right, let's start with a couple licenses and then do some T-shirts. Sounds good.
All right, first license. And here's a pro tip for everyone. The more engaged you are in the chat, the more chances you get to win. So light the chat up as we draw these names. And here comes number 1.
All right, Brian Knight?
No, Marshall Butler.
That happened last time. I think I won last time. Oh, you are a winner, right. Marshall. You get a free license. All right, let's try that again.
Testing the system. That's right. I'm telling folks, get into the chat. Light it up. Let's go.
And here you are. You've been lighting it up.
And number 1 is
Bob.
Yes,
Bob
we can.
Nice.
All right.
Awesome.
So, Bob, what I need you to do is I need you to take a screenshot of your YouTube login showing that you are the owner of this account. We've had folks before try to say, hey, I'm Bob. They weren't Bob. I need Bob to show me his login. So, Bob, do that, and we will give you a free 12-month license to our on-demand learning platform. Congratulations. Let's do one more.
Sounds good.
Here we go.
Oh, that's my short name.
It's a short one. It is
BKJ.
Brian Knight, J133. No,
BKJ133.
BKJ133. Again, take a screenshot of your login screen, proving that you are BKJ133. And send it to.
Let's do one last one here. Let's go ahead and do one more license.
And I forgot to say, send it to marketing@pragmaticworks.com. That's the email address you need to send this to. So let's do one more. Here we go. This might be Pragmatic Works again. Let's see if it's us. No, it's Colleen.
Colleen. Nice. All right.
I tell you what, I know Colleen already has a subscription. So what I'm going to do, Colleen, is I'm going to send you a T-shirt. Colleen, I've got your contact info, and we will send a T-shirt your way. And then let's do one more T-shirt, Brian.
Okay, sounds good.
One more T-shirt. Learn with the Nerds T-shirt. Here we go. It is another Bob.
Another
Bob
Bob.
Flynn.
It pays to be Bob.
It pays to be Bob. So, Bob, please send me an email, marketing@pragmaticworks.com, and I will get a Learn with the Nerds t-shirt off to you.
Sweet. Let's do one last license. Since Colleen got the shirt, let's do.
Okay, let's do a license. All right, license. Here we go.
It's gonna be a longer one. It is Morgan.
Morgan Mahon.
Awesome.
Please send me your contact info, and we will get you set up with a free 12-month on-demand learning subscription with hundreds of videos. I love saying that, hundreds of videos.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, and there's like 10,000 hours of content also, which is awesome as well. Well, guys, thank you again for joining us today. Thanks, Marshall, for helping me on the giveaway. We hope to see you soon on our next Learn with the Nerds. I think we'll have a commercial at the end about what that looks like. And it's going to be Power BI meets Fabric. Awesome. Great topic. All right. Well, have a great day, guys. We will see you later on at Pragmatic Works. Thank you so much.
Stacking up my data like I'm rolling the dice in the city where the neon's burning hot and nice. From Power BI to Synapse, it's a jackpot ride.